What is up, y'all? It's been a couple days. I've been super duper swamped. I'm looking big. Um, I've been working out a lot, as you may be able to tell. I've been putting on more muscle. Wow, I'm looking kind of big today. This video is about being alone, and being comfortable being alone. Um, I do not like being alone, but it is comfortable. It is a comfortable thing. Now it is after being alone for so long. Oh my god, the hair is popping. I'm looking good today. Ooh, I didn't even know that. I was cooking and I chopped up my garlic, and after you chop garlic, you're supposed to let it rest for like 15 minutes. Anyway, point is, I'm down here. I'm inspired. Okay, inspired. The thing I was gonna say is, I I'm a criminal when it comes to uh, stuffing other people in my life so I don't have to be alone. I just can't stop myself, okay? It's bad. And while I was sitting there chopping up my garlic, thinking about what I was going to do, and I was softly listening to uh, I Don't Know You by the Marias, I was thinking, wow, um, who am I going to talk to? Who am I going to try and call? Like, what kind of voice chat can I get into? Like, those are my first thoughts. And then I thought about it a little harder, and I was like, well, I don't want to get into voice chat. I was like, I'd rather just do this alone, because it's a nice, relaxing thing. It's like a couple hours to myself, but every second I spend of every day is like hours to myself. Because even like my job, I mean, I guess I talk into the camera on my main channel, but in reality, I just sit with myself all day. And it's crazy to me. I guess it's like my audience can never understand. So if you guys don't know, I've said this a million times. I am actually I am a YouTuber. This is just my second, my hidden channel. Hopefully it never blows up. I remember at first I was like, oh, like I'll post all the time. We'll see what comes out of it. I honestly, I just like it being an audio diary. I kind of just like putting things out there just cause, and if it sticks, that's awesome. And if it doesn't, actually, if it sticks, that's no longer awesome, because then I don't get to have like this little alcove just like putting stuff out there. It's cheaper than a therapist, okay? And I definitely need therapy. Anyway, winding back, being alone. It is it is hard to be alone all the time. I've been alone for so long, in my head, to where like when I'm around other people, I'm still alone. But being like actually physically alone still freaks me out, because I spent so many years basically never being alone ever. If I was ever alone, it would be with the expectation that I wouldn't be alone very soon. Um, and it's been like months since I've like even even really connected with someone, in any kind of romantic faction. Like, it's been like quite a few months now, and it is I miss it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, part of me is like, oh, like I remember this, or I remember this, like this is kind of nice. And then part of me is like, it's like 8 p.m. on a Sunday, and I'm like, cooking the same meal I eat all the time, my same like healthy, good tasting meal, that I will eat all of, and I enjoy it. You know, I I enjoy that, and I don't necessarily know when I started to enjoy it. When I started to enjoy my time alone instead of my time with people. Um, because I hate being alone. Like, I don't like it, but it's like my life. Like, it's not there isn't some things will never ever get better. I know I generally said this with like much sadder, somber eyes. If you guys watched any earlier in the channel, like my first video is like damn near a rope maxing note. It really is. I was not doing well at that point. I mean, I guess I'm still not doing well. And anyway, the thing that I wanted to say is, some things will never get better. I will never not hate being alone. I will probably never be able to love like a normal person does. I'll probably never be able to do a whole lot of things, and some things will always suck. Um, However, I will be able to, like, eventually that will become your normal. right? If you wake up every day and your mood is like a 4 out of 10, eventually your 4 out of 10 starts to become average or passing, right? We call passing 7 out of 10 here, right? So your 4 out of 10, just keeps like incrementally. You have to get used to it. You just can't. It is a fatiguing thing being so sad for so long, and eventually, you'll either A, rope max, or B, you'll push. And I can be alone now, comfortable being alone. I wonder if this is going to have issues as I try to reconnect with people, because I've never been so literally alone before, except when I was much younger, probably before I was like 10 or 11. Before that, I was alone quite often because my parents were never around and I didn't have any friends and I was fat. I know, no, I got a pretty face. I was not always so pretty. It was rough. Those were really rough times. But I did enjoy the times I had on my own to some extent. But to another extent, I was always planning on how I would re-enter society glorious and triumphant and beautiful and cool and I was gonna have a bunch of friends. I was gonna do X and Y, and I planned all that out. And when I did re-enter society, I did it, victoriously. I truly did that. But now I don't care. I've had my fill of society. I've had my fill of many things. I've had a lot of everything, really. I mean, like, there's not really a lot left that I'm like interested in trying. Now I just wake up and I'm like, I want to build some more muscles. I want to build my YouTube bigger. I want to do like X or Y, or I want to publish more poetry. Like, that's it. That's like the only things that I'm ever really interested in doing. And I do want somebody to spend time with. I'm not interested in putting in that much effort to find them. And unless I found somebody of really high caliber, I don't think I would even do it. Like, I don't even know, because like I'm a social creature, right? Like I can feel the loss. Man, I'm rambling so hard, but I can feel the loss of, nobody's gonna watch this. Doesn't matter. I can feel like the loss of human interaction and the damage it causes me. Like the touch starvation is real. Like you can actually feel what it's like having not touched another person. Like if I were to cuddle with another person now, that'd be equal to doing like, I think it'd be, the endorphins I'd get from that would be equal like hard drugs. Like I'm real touch starved. And it's not, I haven't been like sleeping with anybody or doing like anything like that. I haven't been like nothing. It's just me. Just been me for months. And I'm uncomfortable with that, but I'm almost comforted by me being uncomfortable. Every day that I deny myself, I feel stronger. Like almost like in an elitism, like ego type of way. Like I have an ego about being humble about things. Like when I'm like, I suck at this or I suck at this, like I have an ego about recognizing my limits. In that way, I have an ego about depriving myself of things in order to feel like I don't need them, because I do need them. But my ability to not simply dive into it, I think is very nice, because my whole life I just kind of throw myself into stuff. It's why I'm a YouTuber, right? It's not like I was rich when I first started. Oh my god, I was so poor. I was so egregiously poor, and I just threw myself into it anyway. Anyway, this has been a very rambling video. I'm means I'm in a decent mood. I was not in a decent mood earlier before I started recording this, but what changed? Usually I get sadder. Point is, being alone is gonna suck. It's always gonna suck. I don't think it ever gets better. A lot of things never get better. But just because it doesn't get better doesn't mean your perspective of it can't change. You don't always need other people. You do always need other people, but you don't need them right now. Yeah. Goodbye, guys.